Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another video on the channel where today we have got another formation review. So if you do want to see more of these formation reviews and you do enjoy them and they are very helpful, make sure you do hit that subscribe button and do drop a like on the video. It is much appreciated. But going into this formation, we've got 3-4-1-2. And as explained in the previous video, we're going to try and use the same sort of players, the same sort of team, because I don't want to have like any superstar players, like just ridiculous players, because it might seem like it's the players and not the formation. So I want to try and keep everything as similar as possible, so we're reviewing the formation and not the players. But the only change we made is we brought in Schultz at left mid and obviously Lewandowski up front because we need another striker. But other than that, it's pretty much exactly the same as the last video. And then going into our tactics, we're going on drop back, the width is kind of standard, depth a little bit deeper because we want to be counter-attacking with a 3-back formation. That's what I recommend. Offensive style on fast build-up, width on just 1 higher than the defense, players in the box on 4 and corners and free kicks on standard with 3, because with this formation, 3-back formations, really you want to be aiming to counter-attack. Because obviously you don't have the fullback, so you want to kind of sit deep and counter-attack players. That's kind of the way you want to play with 3-back formation. And then going into our instructions on the goalkeeper, we've got Combs for crosses on Courtois, Akanji, Militao and Gabriel, or obviously all going to be on stay back while attacking. Goretzka and Vidal are going to be on stay on the edge of the box and covering the centre of the pitch. I think that's really important, they cover the centre. Schultz come back on defence, get in behind, get into the box. The same for Dembele on the other side, come back on defence, get in behind and get into the box, because they want to be coming back and defending because we don't have fullback. So it kind of goes into a 5-back when you're defending. Havertz on, get into the box, get in behind and stay central for Werner, and target man and stay central for Lewandowski. So there are instructions. Let's go into the gameplay. So guys, we're going to the gameplay. I actually really like this formation. You might think, well, 3-back formations, they're all the same, you don't have fullbacks, but this one for some reason, I don't know if it was the instructions, because obviously the instructions were different than if you watched the previous video, you saw the instructions. The instructions in this video were a little bit different, but they seem to really help. I seem to be a lot more solid defensively. As I was just saying just a second ago, the 2 wide players, Schultz, I don't know if maybe having Schultz, because he's obviously a more defensive-minded player in that left wing, that left mid position, and Dembele as well on the right-hand side. It just felt a lot more solid in defence. It almost kind of goes into a 5-back when you're defending, having those guys, because you know, in some of the clips you might see, my defence is almost like a 5-back, but then when we attack, obviously Dembele and Schultz bomb forward, kind of almost playing as wing-backs, but they're not. But I really did like this formation. It was surprisingly solid. I didn't really get exploited too much on the wings. Obviously, you know, it's going to happen from time to time. You can see in the disadvantages, I've still got struggled versus wing play and struggled versus counter. A lot of that tended to come late on in the game though, because obviously it's quite a difficult formation to play for those wide players. So they need to have extremely high stamina, which Schultz and Dembele don't have like crazy stamina. They don't have like in the 90s stamina. So, you know, later on in the game, when they can't really get up and down the pitch as much because they don't have the stamina, that's when I tended to get countered and struggled against counter and struggled against pace out wide, because they couldn't really get back and defend. They couldn't then help the attack, and that's kind of when it broke down. So it's important for your wide players who are playing this formation to have good stamina, and the same with your midfielders, as explained in the previous video. Your midfielders need to have great stamina because, you know, they have to do so much running. But overall, I think it was good. You know, the attack was 4, midfield was 4, defense was 4. I'd give it a solid 4, sort of like across the board. I wouldn't say the attack or midfield or defense was particularly outstanding, but as a whole, I think it really blended well. And this sort of blend where everything is solid is what you want. You don't want to have like an attack that's amazing but a defense that's terrible, or vice versa. You want to have like it to be solid across the board, and this was exactly that. So I did like this formation. It's definitely a formation I would recommend you trying if you haven't tried it at all, or if you're someone that's playing in draft and this formation comes up, definitely would recommend going for it, because it is a solid formation. And I really did get on well with it, especially with these players. You're playing in draft, you're going to be playing obviously with much higher caliber players. This guy was a very good player. Obviously he had Messi in his team, which was difficult to play against, so it was one of those where both good players, but he had slightly better team. But we tried our best. We gave it a good go, and he did give us our loss, as you can see there. But that is it for the formation review, guys. So if you do want to see more of these and you do find them useful, do drop a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe button as well if you're new to the channel. That's all for today, guys. Have an awesome day. I'm out.